Hi everyone, let's talk about the Rival Networks, which I have done a full two-player playthrough for. Well, it's a two-player game. It's linked in the description if you haven't seen it yet, but unfortunately, the first and first impressions, both catastrophes happened. So this is just the playthrough recording, although I should have just pretended, right, and made the right arm movements, so it looked like I was actually pointing at the game. Sadly, it's not set up anymore. I love the Networks. It's one of the first games I did on the channel. Not that that makes me love games more. But yeah, I was a backer of the very first Kickstarter, completely bought into the theme, loved the idea of running a TV studio, I love the pun names, I love the unique art style, I love the process of trying to improve these shows more, being brutal and cancelling fantastic shows when they are in their prime to try and get something better out there. And yeah, I'd love it at two players as well. It's how between two players and solo, it's how I played original Networks the most. Rival Networks, of course, as a two-player only game, focuses that head-to-head nature of it and kind of strips away everything else. So rather than this big variety of shows and looking at the display and wondering what has come up, you've still got that, but there's only a little bit in the display, and you know that there's a show of each genre per season. So you can kind of gauge how much time is left in the season, maybe, but also know that once that genre card is out there, if you want it, you better go for it before somebody else goes through it. So you've got a little bit of luck of what comes out on your turn in particular. Maybe the perfect thing for the award and stuff might come out for you, but it's not going to be decided just on one show ever. It's not going to be decided on winning the time slots or winning the awards. It's a lovely combination of all of these things. The awards in particular can make games play quite differently as well, as you would hope. Because, in our very first game of it, it just so happened that even after shuffling, all of the awards that came out, they concerned loads of different things, but the time slot consideration was the same the whole way through. So we had this great battle the whole way of trying to make 9 p.m, say, the best of all of the time slots. We were still trying to do stuff elsewhere, but always having this tug of war to try and have the best one there. But at a certain point, if someone else isn't really going for something, you don't have to do too much to it. But at a certain point, you've got to think, am I putting too much effort into this to get the 1-2 viewers from this award? Cancelling the show and putting a whole new thing out can earn you loads of viewers as well. So it's all this push and pull and being completely focused on what the other person is doing from a very tight range of things. I like that the stars and ads are tied to each other now. So you can never get this, well, sometimes you can, but you can't just pick and choose this perfect combination of things. You sometimes have to take an ad that's not going to earn you anything right now, for example, to get the perfect star that's on your show. I love the variable length of the rounds and the game in general as well, especially when you remember to do it right and you don't take cards off the deck. You can, as soon as it's in the display, take that season finale card. You still get most of your turn, you just don't get to develop a show, which can be a big deal depending on what's out there. But you can be, the shows that are out there might be perfect for getting the other player one or more genre bonuses. They might not be helping you out. They might be taking something out that you're doing really well at. Or it might just be that it's come to your turn, the season finale's out there, and you can see, well, I'm already in the lead in this time slot and for this award, and I still get to get a star and an ad, so I could put this star on this show and be winning this now, and use it to your advantage. Or alternatively, try and scrabble to win something before you know that the other person is going to take that finale card as well. It's a really nice choice that is added on top of it. Yeah, it's all of the core gameplay that I loved about the Networks, but with this this kind of stripped back feel that is just less to... Yeah, it's even more of a focus. There's less to be distracted by. It's all about these few time slots, these few shows, these few stars and network cards that we can see. I love as well, component-wise, it could have just been a scoreboard. It could have just been a player shield and put your tokens face down or something. But I absolutely love those viewer chip piggy banks. It's such a beautiful... board games are a beautifully tactile thing. And it is incredibly satisfying, more than it ever should be. It is so satisfying putting your viewers in that piggy bank and then lifting it up at the end to reveal and compare your points. It's an absolutely beautiful touch in an already fantastic game. I love the networks and the rival networks too. I think they can coexist quite peacefully. Oh, speaking of that as well, networks had its interactive deck that you could play with if you wanted some mean things in there. I'd say that there's plenty of networks in the network cards in the rival networks. I think one of them does something kind of mean where you steal a star from someone's green room, but they do get to replace it with a random one from the deck. So you do get some mitigation in there, and there's plenty of cards in there where you can just say, let's just pretend that card never came out. If you are as extremely Care Bear as we like to be. That's just as a final thing, though. Rival networks, great. Thank you for watching. See you for the next game. Bye, everyone.